We're back with you answering your elections questions. This person says, I already early voted. How do I get one of those pens?
That's a good question. We'll have some extras at our Board of Elections office, and come by, tell us you've already voted, and we'll give you one. And after the election, we'll have plenty to give away because they say 2020, so we can't use them next year.
Right. Okay. This person says, I'm in my 60s, and on November 3rd, I plan on writing in a name for the first time. Any advice on what to do or not to do?
Right. There's only a couple contests in this county that have write-ins being available. So there's a bubble next to the name write-in, and there's a line, and you just bubble in that write-in field and write the name.
Okay. This person says, I registered several years ago, but have not voted in more than 4 years. Can I still show up to vote?
Yeah, if you have stayed within Guilford County the entire time, then without moving out, just that mere fact, you'll be able to vote. And we may have some extra paperwork to do, but if you haven't left Guilford County, you'll be okay.
Does early voting in person show up as an absentee ballot return on the North Carolina elections website?
It does, and that can be very confusing because early voting is technically and legally a form of absentee voting.
This person asks, how can I change my party affiliation?
Yeah, you can do that at the polls or with a voter registration form. Now, we will not process that until after the election. We're kind of in a freeze period right now on those kind of transactions, but the form will be available at various places.
If you vote by absentee ballot, do you have to stand in those long lines to hand your ballot to someone? Can I just take it to the post office?
Sure, you can take it to the post office. You can put it in your mailbox. And at an early voting site, you shouldn't have to wait in a long line. You can go up and drop that off. But if you don't want to go inside at all, take it to the post office.
All right. This person says, I did curbside voting and the volunteer checked over my ballot before taking it inside. That meant my vote was not private, or was it private?
Well, they may not should have been doing that because they did see how the voter voted. I think what they may have been trying to do is to see if there was stray marks or overvotes or anything like that that would cause an issue when we tried to get the vote into the tabulator. They shouldn't be doing that, and we'll make sure that that's one of those things that now that I hear about it, that we probably could reemphasize.
Okay. When you give your name at the voting site and they generate the form with your name and your address on it and they hand that over to get your ballot, the form is scanned and the ballot is scanned. Does that mean that your ballot can be tracked and people know how you voted?
All ballots, all absentee and early votes in North Carolina are technically a retrievable ballot. So there is a way to do it. However, it is not something that anybody can do. The Board of Elections can offer limited ways to do that through some very formal mechanisms. It is retrievable, but it is not something that is an easy process at all. So I still think that there's the utmost privacy for somebody's votes, even though under certain orders it can be done.
This person says, what happens if I registered but my registration card came back with the wrong gender?
That is probably a data entry error on our end. That's one that we can fix. I would either take the card and there's a little form on the back and you can just fix it or put a clarifying note on that, send it back. Give us a call. Sometimes with those issues, we can just, if it's a data entry error, we can fix that over the phone.
Okay, quickly, is it too late to register to vote?
It is too late to register the traditional way to vote on election day or by mail at this time. However, it's not too late to go to an early voting site, and only an early voting site, and do a same-day registration.
Now, you can register at early voting. Can you then wait to vote on election day if you registered to early vote?
Yes, you can. You can register to vote at an early voting site, doing same-day registration, and then wait. But, you know, the other alternative is you're right there at the front of the line.
Right.
And if you want to go ahead and vote, you can do it.
Right. Why wait in line twice? But if you really want to vote just on election day, that can still happen. All right. And just to clarify, you can vote in any early voting site in the county that you're registered in.
Right. Not any early voting site across the state, but it has to be of your county of registration.
Right, in the county that you're registered in. Thank you so much. I know it's been crazy and you were trying to get pens at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, so we appreciate your time. Thank you
very much.
All right, we covered a lot this evening. All the resources and links and things that we talked about are in WFNYnews2.com. These segments will be posted there and on our YouTube page for you to be able to follow up later on as well.